Hello, and glad to have you here today. I today would like to talk about something that keeps us stuck, keeps a lot of people stuck. And you don't realize it when it's happening to you, but that's something that I'd like to have a conversation around with you today. And for everyone that's coming, as you're hopping on, let me know where you're coming in from and what you think about this topic that we're going to talk about today. And I apologize for being late. I just have had some stuff, and I'm not going to make excuses because regardless, I refuse to not show up no matter what was going on. I just needed to still come late or not, and I hope that those of you that are here with me live are okay with that, as well as if you catch this on the replay. And make sure that you are when you catch it on the replay, you can still make comments then to whatever it is, or ask questions, and we can go from there. So let me go on and get started. So first of all, like I said before, very glad to have you here. And my name, let me introduce myself. My name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. And I use a few different things to help me to accomplish that. I use attraction marketing, lead generation, as well as video marketing. And so let me just go on and move into what we're going to have a conversation around today. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've experienced this or if you know someone who has. I really thought I had it going on, and that I didn't deal with this, but it was actually something that did stop me in my tracks. And I know it stops a lot of people from going live. So I've got notes down here, so I'm going to go on and and get going. So I know for me, I didn't understand what was stopping me or what was keeping me stuck. And this particular thing is that we're talking about is fear of whatever it is. And you may not even recognize it as fear, but you just know that you don't want to do whatever it is that you need to do or should be doing. And you don't really know why, but you just have this feeling that, you know, I, I don't want to do that. I don't think I like doing that or something like that. And it takes as I look at my notes, one of the first things I have is it takes being aware and checking yourself out, doing a self check to see what's going on with you, especially if it's something that you need to be doing for your business or for your family or for even in your everyday life. This can keep you stuck. There are people that I know, and of course, I won't use any names, but in encouraging me, talked about how they got stuck in their house and, basically had gotten to where they just didn't want to go out anymore. And didn't realize what was going on with themselves until sometime later they realized that they had become afraid to go outside. And and that fear kept them there bound until they realized it and did something about it. And that's one thing that we have to be able to check ourselves out and see what's going on with ourselves. I do, I know people say you're crazy if you talk to yourself, but I think that was like way back in the day before people, started self-evaluating and thinking and, kind of saying things out loud, that we need to hear because it's in our head, but we're not speaking it. And so then once we're able to acknowledge and speak that, then we can move on. We can then do something about it. But when you have no awareness around it, when you don't have the ability to acknowledge what's happening, that's when it comes to a big problem. And that was the same for me. I, was having a period where I wasn't it's like I was saying things. I was saying like, yeah, I do this and yeah, I do that. And, for my business, I don't, I like to get this done and so on and so on. But then my words weren't matching up with my actions. And it took someone actually to say that to me, and this was one of my mentors, that I really am very close to. And when she said that, I was like, no, no, no. But then I had to really examine myself and see what was going on and what was I doing? Was I doing everything that I, had been doing before? Was I, like going to different communities and trying to help, in my groups? And was I, being helpful? Was I, putting myself out there? Was I doing the things, or actually one of the things that I heard people say, doing the do? Was I doing the work? And I found that I was doing certain things, but there were other things that I guess I was leery of and fearful of that I wasn't doing. And I didn't realize it myself. 'Cause I really thought I was gung ho. I mean, I came from where I did everything, and, I didn't even go to sleep until I was done. It was one of those things, and I would stay up late at night to finish everything, make sure that I went into so many communities and, and made comments and, encouraged people and all of that, but then, something happened and something changed, and I didn't realize it. So, having somebody point that out to me was very helpful. So once you can acknowledge it and recognize it, then you can actually start to do something to change it. So the other thing that I had to recognize and learn was that the things that I was fearful of was not something that I really needed to be fearful of. I'm looking at my notes and I have false evidence appearing real, because a lot of the fears are in our head. It's not something that's really happening. It's not something that's really out there. And but we have for some reason built up this fear or fret around, certain things. And you just can't do anything about it if you stay stuck in that. And so when I realized that my fears, the things that were popping in my head that keep me stuck, were not real, and I still had a little fretfulness for a bit. It took me a little bit, but I was able to finally push my way through. And the other thing that I have down here, and the last thing is, and it was something that I've had all my life, that I developed as a child, and stepped forward to take care of things because things needed being taken care of. Um, and so I was able to push forward in this, and that is courage. So, and courage doesn't mean that the fear is gone. Courage doesn't mean that the fear is absent. It means that the fear is still there, but you do it anyway. And that is something that I had to incorporate and push myself, where I had, done so many things in my life over time and, just kept going and, it didn't matter, being a nurse, for example, you have to learn, certain things. So you have a base, but you still have to learn how to do a lot of things. And I decided I did dared to go into places where a lot of people didn't feel comfortable. So I worked in a lot of intensive care units. I worked in emergency rooms where things would come in and you might not know exactly what to do right then, but as you continue to learn and grow, then okay, well when this happens, this is what I'm going to do. And doing CPR on, people, really live people that were in trouble, and those types of things. So it wasn't that, I was I don't even know that I felt fear. I was just so gung ho, and I was younger, and I pushed myself through a lot of stuff. I just kept going. And so when this happened, when I was actually had to recognize that I actually had fear, around doing certain things about my business or in life, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I really need to get myself together." And so in courage, I started pushing myself to do things whether I really wanted to or not because of the fear. There are some things that, I might take a stab at it and maybe that time didn't work for me, but it wasn't that I was going to give up. I decided I was going to keep going until I got it and keep talking to myself in positives, changing my language, which, I've talked about in the past, and changing what I say to myself, not allowing myself to entertain the fear that wasn't really real, and that helped me to start to push forward again, like I always have. And I, had gotten to where, and I'll say this, and then I'll, hopefully I'm not sending anything in the chat, and please be aware and know that I love to have you say what it is that what it is that you'd like to share. You can drop that information in the chat box, and and I can pull you up, if you want, and we can look at your comment or your question or whatever that may be. But it's just when you realize that this fear has stopped you and got you stuck, and then you decide, okay, well, I've acknowledged it and it's not real, you know, number two. And then number three, so what are you going to do? Are you going to stay stuck, in your business? Are you going to stay stuck in your life? Are you going to move forward and push yourself? So, a lot of people would say to me, do it scared, and a lot of people I know when they're doing live videos, that was something I didn't have a problem with. So doing live videos for me was not a problem, but I actually experienced fear. So I realized what people were going through, when they are, having to go live, when they want to go live, because, it's one way to really let people get to know you and that kind of thing. So for me to experience the fear that I had, over stuff that I had in my head about, oh, I don't want to spam people. Oh, I don't want to, start talking to people and then push on them what it is that I do. I don't want to do that, and I had put all this stuff and, made this big old thing out of just having a connection with somebody and having a conversation, not saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. That's not what I'm doing. And I had to really tell myself, you're not doing that. You're just having a conversation, you're talking to someone, and because you're interested in them. And of course I want to help people, but I can't help people if I don't have a conversation with them and find out what it is that they may have an issue with or problem with, or something that scares them, or whatever that might be. How can I help anyone if I like too afraid to talk, too afraid to make a connection, too afraid to develop a relationship, to start a conversation, and so that's basically what I wanted to talk about today, because I, in the grip of fear, it really can cause you to get stuck and not move. And so I just wanted to talk about that today. And, especially, and even, well, being late, and having, issues and whatever that may be that may cause you to have problems going on time, being live. But I always want to show up when I'm supposed to show up. And if not, I want to be able to tell you, okay, I'm sorry, I was in a class, like let you know in advance and that kind of thing. So it's important for me to still show up, even though I had some issues and I'm showing up late. I still, that was important for me to do. And there was no fear around that, but it's one of those things where you push yourself, you go on and you do it anyway. You do it though it's tough. It's hard for me to come late because I'm one of those people that loves to be on time. I'm a recovering perfectionist. And for me, being on time and well organized is, one of the big things that I really love to be and do. And that doesn't always happen. So that's basically all I had to say. And I have I some information that I'm going to drop into the chat for you to take a look at and see if it's something that may be something that you may be open to. And it's about growing your business and learning different things, and especially when it comes to attracting those people that you really want to help, those people that you are bound and determined to lift up, and that may be in anything and everything. It could be, where you are an entrepreneur who does real estate, who does chiropractor, or that all of those types of things. Or it could be that you are a business builder like me, and you just want to be able to help others to be able to build their business and to be able to do it online, which is one of the things that I really like to be able to do. So that's basically it. So I'm going to go on and stop talking. I'll look forward to seeing your comments when you have time to put them in, and whatever it is that you want to share. And so I'm going to go on and get off of here, but I hope that you really got something from this today. And if you did and it was helpful, you can definitely share this with someone else, and no problem with that. And follow me for other information that I share that you find interesting, and that helps you to be able to move forward in your life, because that's one of my main goals. That's why I like to go live and share information and share even the emotion that comes with that. So basically that is it. I'm going to get off of here. So take care. And today is my last day going live this week. I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that is at 12 noon. And today I was about 10 minutes late. So yeah, still going live Tuesdays and Wednesdays at noon. So hopefully I will see you again next week. And in between time, I am always putting posts in here about different things, and trying to lift people up with some of the theme things that I've been doing. So hopefully it helps you. So take care. Talk soon. No matter where you are in the world, I hope you're having a wonderful whatever it is for you. Bye now.